إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستغفره ونستعينه نحمده ونستغفره ونستهديه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. عباد الله، أوصيكم ونفسي المقصرة أولا بتقوى الله، فاتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. ثم أما بعد. All praises are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most gracious and the most merciful. The best of his peace and blessings shall be bestowed upon his beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, in many khutbahs, we tried our best to address the way we can use our Islam, our Islamic knowledge to help us create hayat tayyibah, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described. To help us create a good life. A life of success, prosperity, safety. Islam, as we always say and we always learned, it's not just a religion of spirituality. It is extremely important for us to realize this. So we always have to say this. We have to discuss it, learn it. Islam is not just a religion of spirituality. Islam is a practical religion. Islam is a way of life. Islam is a life management system that help us grow and help us develop. We need to know this. And we need to know, how do we use Islam to help us improve our lives? Otherwise, it will remain in the minds of the Muslims as a book deserted on a shelf. Book that has good stuff in it, but we're not using it. And it's not intended for that. It's intended to be applied in our lives. In a previous khutbah, we spoke about the concept of ad-darar wa nafa, harm and benefit. And how harm and benefit is a tool for us to navigate through the hardship of lives. How do we make decisions based on harm and benefit? And how do we teach our children to make decisions based on harm and benefit? In today's khutbah, inshallah, we're going to be talking about a different tool that will, inshallah, help us manage our life in a way that will always be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and will always help us avoid making wrong decisions. What is this tool? In a famous ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in Surah Fatir, verse 29, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَأَنْفَقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ سِرًّا وَعَلَانِيَةً يَرْجُونَ تِجَارَةً لَنْ تَبُورَ. Those who read the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and perform their salah and spend in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the open and in a secret way, so they do good deeds openly in front of people and they do it in a secret way between them and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those are looking for what? They're looking for a tijara lan tabu. They're looking for a business. tijara, trade. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about a business. In another ayah, in Surah As-Saff, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يا أيها الذين آمنوا هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم. In the second ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also talking about a tijara, business. O you who believe, shall I guide you to a tijara? Should I talk to you about a business opportunity? We look at these two ayahs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about salah, zakat. He's talking about what appears to be worship, act of worship, spirituality. But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions tijara. And in the era that we live in, especially in North America, in the heart of capitalism, tijara, it's about money. Tijara, business, we live in a corporate world. Businesses, they literally run the world. So powerful. What does tijara have to do with me living my Islam? How does tijara apply? How does business and the business principles apply in me living my deen? In the first ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Tijaratan lan tabur. Those who read the book, perform their salah, pay their zakat, they're looking for a tijara, a trade, lan tabur. It's described as, lan tabur means, la taksad. Means, there's never a loss in it. 100% guaranteed profit. 100% return on investment. Or is it 100%? We realize that it's much more than 100%. But the return on investment is 100% guaranteed. It's a guaranteed gain. That's a great tijara that I'm sure most of us would be looking for. If someone comes and tells you, I have a business opportunity with 100% guaranteed income, 100% guaranteed return, zero risk, you'll be making a lot of money. And this tijara, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues in the following ayah about those people that are seeking this tijara, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will repay them لِيُوَفِّيَهُمْ أُجُورَهُمْ وَيَزِيدَهُمْ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ إِنَّهُ غَفُورٌ شَكُورٌ. Will repay them for something that they've done. Makes sense, it's a tijara. There has to be an investment. You have to do something in order for you to gain. In the following ayah that we mentioned in Surah As-Saff, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا هَلْ أَدُلُّكُمْ عَلَى تِجَارَةٍ تُنْجِيكُمْ مِنْ عَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ. This tijara is going to save you from a huge pain or punishment. What's the investment? تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ وَتُجَاهِدُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ بِأَمْوَالِكُمْ وَأَنفُسِكُمْ ذَلِكُمْ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. Investment is the deeds that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to do. Salah, siyam, zakat, everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to do, we put in as an investment, and then we take back the rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. طيب, how do I take this concept and apply it in my life as a Muslim? How should, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about dealing with Him, offering our worship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as an investment that could come back with serious returns. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking us as Muslims to set our mind to a business thinking mode. Wallahi, Muslims are not monks. brought to this life to stay on top of the mountains for spirituality. I mean, look at this. Business. 1400 years old book talking about business, which is completely applicable in our day and time. Talks about return on investments. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you, oh you Muslims, set your minds to a business thinking. Why business thinking? What's in business thinking? Business thinking is all about losses and gains. Make sure when you do anything, you evaluate your losses and gains. Do not go into an investment or a business venture that's clearly will cause you a loss. So everything we do in our life is business. I'm about to do something. I don't know if it's halal or haram. I don't know if I should do it or not. I need to evaluate something. I look at the gains and losses. But what gains and losses do we look at as Muslims? Is it about greed and money, self-benefit? There should be self-benefit in it. The beauty of this business evaluation in the Muslim mentality is the real gains that we look at is not only in our life. Because Muslims have different dimensions, there's the life after. So when about to do something, I would say, what am I benefiting in life? How am I benefiting? As an individual, as an ummah, as humanity, every action I take, I weigh the gains and the losses. And then I evaluate the gains and the losses in the akhirah. I'm about to do something, wal-'iyadu billah, that's in question. A business deal where I'm going to make side money, that's in question. Should I do it or not? I need the money to pay this and to do this. Should I do it or not? I start thinking, if I do this act, would the losses and gains with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be in line with what I want? Or would that cause me to suffer in the akhirah? Some pleasure in dunya are not worth the eternal suffering in the akhirah. Some gains in dunya, whether it's money, pleasure, they're not worth the cost in akhirah. Everything we do, we start evaluating gains and losses, for sure, after knowing the consequences and the gains or losses that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised us as Muslims. You do one simple haram act, simple, small, but the consequences of it, the loss is huge in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that could be in dunya and akhirah. To understand this concept more, we need to look at applications of this concept by the Sahaba Kiram to help us realize the importance of this concept and how we can benefit from it in الدنيا والآخرة. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله ولكم فاستغفروه فيا فوز المستغفرين. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Jazakumullah khair. Before we continue, if you can please get up and line up as we do line up for salah, so we can maximize the space and get more brothers in. Jazakumullah khair. Jazakumullah khair. Make more room for your brothers. Jazakumullah khair. To understand this concept more, let us learn from the Sahaba al-Kiram, Ridwanullahi alayhim, starting with the great Sahabi Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu anhu wa arda. A man that was known of his great understanding of al-maqasid, great understanding of the intentions of the rulings and the teachings. A man that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gifted him with the ability to be able to implement wisely and lead the ummah to great success. In a famous story, in a famous hadith, عبد الله بن هشام قال: كنا مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو آخذ بيد عمر بن الخطاب. وقال له عمر, is saying to Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم, when Umar رضي الله عنه was walking with Rasulullah was holding his hand in a great gesture of love and care from Rasulullah to his companions, to his Sahaba. So Umar is asking Rasulullah ﷺ, or is telling Rasulullah ﷺ, فقال له عمر: يا رسول الله, لا أنت أحب إلي من كل شيء إلا من نفسي. O Rasulullah, you are so beloved to me, more than anything else on earth except from my nafs, from myself. Umar's statement is so powerful. And it's so honest. It's so precise. He's a man that was known for his wisdom and strong mental power. He was not just saying words like a lot of people do without thinking. Not just out of feelings, but out of understanding. Oh Rasulullah, you are so beloved to me, more than anything else except my nafs. In some of the tafasir, al-ulama say, when he said, لا أنت أحب إلي, this implies a qasam. This lam implies a qasam. By Allah, you are more beloved to myself. And this shows that he would not have ever lied, especially by saying, by Allah you are. He's not a munafiq. He's honest. You are more beloved to me by Allah except from myself. More than anything else except for myself. So Rasulullah ﷺ, al-muallim, the best leader, the best teacher, preparing Umar radiallahu anhu for a great task. How this leader, Rasulullah ﷺ, is ensuring that Umar is ready for his leadership role in a few years. He comes back to him saying, La, nay. Look at this conversation between two great men, between the leader Muhammad ﷺ and Murabbi. La, no. Serious matter. It's a serious principle that you need to understand, O Umar. لا والذي نفسي بيده حتى أكون أحب إليك من نفسك. No, by Allah who owns my soul, it will never happen till I become more beloved to you than your own nafs. Umar radiallahu anhu wa ardah, immediately he must have evaluated it, thought about it, and immediately comes back saying what? فقال له عمر فإنه الآن. You know what? It is now. فإنه الآن والله لأنت أحب إلي من نفسي. It is now. You are more beloved to me than myself. What happened? He wasn't lying. He was honest. When Rasulullah ﷺ told him, no, I have to be more beloved to you than yourself. He said, it is. You are more beloved to me by myself. Some people might think this is a complete obedience. But if it was complete obedience without thinking, he wouldn't have told Rasulullah, you're not more beloved to me than myself. He would have started with a complete submission and obedience. But no. Rasulullah trained his Sahaba and training us to be free thinkers, to evaluate things properly. He expressed himself to Rasulullah, the leader of the Ummah. And then Rasulullah told him, no, you should do this. Not because it's just blindly, because evaluate the gains and losses. And in a tafasir, Umar evaluated that based on the gain and losses, my love to Rasulullah will help me gain more in dunya and akhirah. Because Rasulullah will only order me to do the right thing. And he's going to be Shafi'i Yawm al-Qiyamah. He's the one that's, I'm going to sit beside Yawm al-Qiyamah and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for me to forgive my sins. He's the one that will never ask me to do anything wrong. However, nafsi, that I thought is more beloved to me than Rasulullah, will definitely order me to do wrong deeds. So based on the gains and losses, loving my nafs more might lead me to losses in dunya and akhirah. Might lead me to go astray in dunya wal iyadu billah, which will lead me to pay a huge price in al-akhirah. This is how Rasulullah is training his Sahaba and training us. In another famous story, the story of Abu Dahdah, we all know it. When a man came to Rasulullah asking him, he was building a wall surrounding his garden. And as he was building the wall, it came across a palm tree, a date tree. And he went to Rasulullah asking him to ask the owner of the land, of the garden that's neighbor to him, to allow him to take out the tree so he can build his wall. In a majlis where the Sahaba were there and Abu Dahdah was there, Rasulullah is asking the second man to allow that man to take his tree. And the man refused. He said, I'm not giving up my rights. Who's watching? Abu Dahdah. Abu Dahdah said, can I buy this tree from you? After Rasulullah told that man to entice him to help his brother out, he told him, if you give him the tree, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will replace you with a much bigger date tree in Al-Jannah where you will take years walking in its shade. Tijara. If you give up this tree in dunya, small tree, you might die from drought. Allah will replace you with a much bigger tree in Al-Jannah. Look at this return on investment. 10 times return, 100 times, billion times return. You will get a tree in Al-Jannah so big that you need years to walk under its shade. Unfortunately, that man did not have the business thinking that Rasulullah is teaching us. He was not able to evaluate gains and losses, to lose a small tree and gain a much larger tree, eternal one. Abu Dahdah was there. He said, "Oh Rasulullah, I love this business opportunity. Can I buy this tree? I want it. And I will give him my garden." Abu Dahdah's garden was said to have 600 trees. And a palace, a big house, a mansion, and a well. He was giving up this huge wealth of his 600 trees for one tree. No, he was giving it up for the gain in Al-Jannah. This is the business thinking. And he did not hesitate. He realized where the real gains are, in Al-Jannah, not in a dunya. When he bought it, Rasulullah granted it to him. When he bought it, he said, "Oh Rasulullah, did I gain that tree in Al-Jannah?" Rasulullah said, no. In a state of shock, Abu Dahdah couldn't believe that Rasulullah said, it's not just one tree that you've gained. كم من عذق دواح لأبي الدحداح في الجنة. You've gained multiple trees. Because of your act of generosity, you did not just buy the tree for its actual worth, you gave more, so you've evaluated the tree in Al-Jannah even more. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala al-Kareem gave you even more. The more we evaluate the gifts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more He will give us back in just in the akhirah. Trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even in a dunya. When you realize that my ummah is in need of a dinar or a dollar and I give 10, the rewards, the gains are multiplied even more. Not just one for one, which did not start as one for one, but you give more, you take back more. This is the tijara with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and these are the business minds of the Sahaba. Last story, a Sahabi at the time of Uhud, the battle of Uhud, one of the earliest battles for Muslims to defend their religion. He's hearing Rasulullah ﷺ talking about the rewards of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the gains in Al-Jannah. And he was eating dates. He had 3 pieces in his hands. And then he asked Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in qutiltu ayna ala? We're going into a battle right now. Why die? Where am I going to go? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, affirming, anta fil jannah. You will be in Al-Jannah, no doubt, no question, guaranteed. What does he say? Without hesitation, the business evaluation of gains and losses, he did not even complete the dates, he threw the dates on the ground. Why am I wasting my time eating dates? I want Al-Jannah. And indeed, he became a martyr and he was granted Al-Jannah. These are, my dear brothers and sisters, the examples of the Sahaba that ruled the world. The Sahaba that were so successful in bringing nothing but social justice and goods for the whole world. They were trained properly by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Their hearts were so filled with pride of their deen. Their ethics were so great and powerful that attracted people. Their business training was so high that they can manage and lead. They're not weak and poor and monks. They're strong business people, productive people. This is the generation that we need to build, so we can bring back that pride in the hearts of the young generation and in the hearts of all Muslims. So we can live the Islam as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to live it. And we just witnessed and lived a great story of pride and success in Jerusalem, in Al-Aqsa, where the people of Al-Aqsa rejected tyranny, rejected injustice, despite of them being a small number. Confronting the whole world was standing against them. But they stood strong believers, rejecting all forms of injustice. And alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, they were able to get back to their Aqsa. With the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the barakah of standing strong and defending your rights. Now Al-Aqsa is not freed yet, but at least they were able to go back and pray in it. Was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to fill our hearts and our minds with the pride and understanding of Islam. Was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us understand this great deen and help us not to waste any of it. Was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us know the teachings of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and help us apply it. Was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us His love and the love of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us always work hard and do more and help our communities and help all the weak ones across the globe. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to shower us with His mercy and His blessings. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put barakah in our life. اللهم يا ذا الجلال والإكرام اللهم نسألك العفو والعافية في الدنيا والآخرة اللهم عافنا في ديننا ودنيانا اللهم استر عوراتنا وآمن روعاتنا واحفظنا من بين يدينا ومن خلفنا وعن يميننا وعن شمائلنا ونعوذ بعظمتك أن نغتال من تحتنا إنك على كل شيء قدير إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين إن الله يأمركم بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون فاذكروا الله يذكركم واستغفروه يغفر لكم والله يعلم ما تصنعون وأنت يا أخي أقم الصلاة. Before we start our salah, just a reminder, our brother